Hey there folks, John Oliver here, ready to dive into a topic that's about as fun as a root canal, the US-China trade war. Now I know what you're thinking, trade war? Sounds boring! And you're not wrong, but trust me on this one, this ain't your grandpappy's trade spat. This thing is a big deal with huge implications for both countries and the entire world. We're talking about the two biggest economies on the planet going head-to-head, slapping tariffs on each other's goods like they're in some bizarre, high-stakes ping-pong match. And just like a ping-pong match, it's hard to predict who's gonna win, or if anyone really wins at all. But here's the thing, this isn't just about economics. Oh no, my friends, this trade war is deeply intertwined with politics, technology, and even good old-fashioned national pride. It's a tangled web we're weaving here, and frankly, it's got me more stressed than a hamster on a wheel made of student loan debt. So, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to unpack this trade war mess and try to make sense of it all. Because whether you're a farmer in Iowa, a tech worker in Silicon Valley, or just someone who enjoys affordable consumer goods, and really who doesn't, this trade war is gonna affect you. Let's start with the farmers. These folks are the backbone of America, and they're feeling the pinch. With tariffs on agricultural products, their crops are becoming more expensive to export, leading to surplus and lower prices at home. Imagine working tirelessly all year, only to find out that your hard-earned produce is now worth less because of some political chess game. It's not just frustrating, it's devastating. Then we have the tech industry. Silicon Valley, the heart of innovation, is also caught in this crossfire. With tariffs on electronic components and gadgets, the cost of production is skyrocketing. This means higher prices for consumers and potential slowdowns in technological advancements. The ripple effect is enormous, affecting everything from smartphones to cutting-edge AI research. And speaking of consumers, let's not forget about the everyday shopper. Those tariffs trickle down to us, making everything from groceries to gadgets more expensive. It's like a hidden tax that we all end up paying, whether we realize it or not. And in a world where every penny counts, this can be a real burden. But why is this happening? Why are these two giants locked in this economic battle? Well, it's a mix of power, politics, and a dash of ego. Historically, trade agreements have always been about more than just goods and services. They're about influence, control, and setting the rules of the game. The US and China are both vying for global dominance, and trade is one of the battlegrounds. It's a way to flex muscles and show who's boss. And then there's technology. The race for technological supremacy is fierce. From 5G networks to artificial intelligence, both nations want to be at the forefront. Controlling technology means controlling the future, and neither side is willing to back down. It's a high-stakes game with global implications. And let's not forget national pride. Both countries have a lot at stake in terms of their national identity and pride. Backing down isn't just a political loss, it's a blow to their national ego. So as we navigate this complex web of tariffs, politics, and technology, remember that it's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's real people, real lives, and real consequences. And that's why we need to pay attention, because this trade war, unlike any other, is shaping the world we live in. And whether we like it or not, we're all in this together. So stay informed, stay engaged, and let's hope for a resolution that benefits everyone. Until next time, folks, stay curious and stay aware. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Alright, let's talk economics, shall we? The world of finance and trade is a complex web of interactions, and when two of the largest economies clash, the ripples are felt far and wide. Because at its core, this trade war is about money, honey. It's about who gets the bigger slice of the global economic pie and who sets the rules of the game. The US, under the leadership of, well, let's just say a colorful character, decided that China wasn't playing fair in the global marketplace. The administration believed that China's practices were not just competitive, but downright unfair. Accusations of intellectual property theft, unfair subsidies, and currency manipulation were thrown around like confetti at a ticker tape parade. These issues have been long-standing grievances, but they reached a boiling point. So, what did the US do? They slapped tariffs, those lovely little taxes on imported goods, on billions of dollars worth of Chinese products. The goal was to make Chinese goods more expensive and less attractive to American consumers. The idea? Make Chinese goods more expensive, encourage American companies to bring manufacturing back home, and stick it to China in the process. It was a bold move, aimed at reshaping the global supply chain. China, not one to back down from a fight, retaliated with tariffs of their own, targeting key American exports like soybeans and automobiles. They aimed to hit the US where it hurt, in industries that were crucial to the American economy. and thus began a tit-for-tat tariff war, with each side escalating the situation further. It was a high-stakes game of economic chicken, with neither side willing to blink first. The result? Well, it ain't pretty. The economic fallout has been significant, affecting not just the two countries involved, but the global economy as a whole. American consumers are feeling the pinch of higher prices on everything from washing machines to sneakers. The tariffs have made everyday goods more expensive, stretching household budgets thin. Farmers are struggling to sell their crops as Chinese buyers look elsewhere. The agricultural sector, which relies heavily on exports, has been hit hard, with many farmers facing financial ruin, and businesses, both big and small, are grappling with uncertainty and disrupted supply chains. The interconnected nature of global trade means that when one link in the chain is affected, the whole system feels the strain. Economists warn that the long-term effects of this trade war could be profound. The uncertainty it has created is causing companies to rethink their strategies, potentially leading to a more fragmented global economy. Protests have erupted in various sectors, with workers demanding more stable and predictable trade policies. The volatility has led to job losses and factory closures, adding to the economic woes. Diplomatic efforts continue, with both sides trying to negotiate a way out of this mess. Trade agreements are being discussed, but finding common ground has proven to be a Herculean task. Amidst all this turmoil, there's a silver lining. The trade war has spurred innovation, with companies looking for new ways to reduce costs and increase efficiency. Tech startups and innovation labs are buzzing with activity, trying to find solutions to the challenges posed by the trade war. The global economic landscape is shifting, and the outcomes of this trade war will shape the future of international trade. Leaders around the world are watching closely, as the decisions made today will have far-reaching consequences. At the end of the day, it's the people who bear the brunt of these economic battles. From farmers to factory workers, from small business owners to consumers, everyone is affected. The hope is that through dialogue and cooperation, a more stable and fair trade environment can be achieved. The road to recovery will be long and challenging, but with resilience and determination, it's possible to rebuild and come out stronger. The lessons learned from this trade war could pave the way for a more balanced and equitable global economy. As the sun sets on this chapter of economic conflict, the world looks forward to a new dawn of cooperation and prosperity. The journey continues, and the hope for a better tomorrow remains ever bright. Now let's not kid ourselves, folks. This isn't just a simple disagreement over tariffs or trade deficits. This trade war isn't just about economics. It's a complex and multifaceted conflict that touches on politics, national security, and even cultural identity. It's a big old political chess match, with both the US and China making strategic moves to gain an advantage on the global stage. Each side is carefully planning its next move, anticipating the other's response and trying to outmaneuver their opponent. For the US, it's about maintaining its position as the world's economic superpower. The stakes are incredibly high, and the US is determined to hold on to its dominant role in the global economy. China's rapid economic rise has made some folks in Washington nervous, and they see this trade war as a way to contain China's growing influence. The fear is that if China continues to grow unchecked, it could eventually surpass the US in terms of economic power and global influence. Then there's the whole America First rhetoric, which has played well with certain segments of the US population. This nationalist sentiment has been a driving force behind many of the current administration's policies, including the trade war. The idea is to protect American jobs and industries, even if it means disrupting global trade and potentially hurting American consumers in the process. The hope is that by imposing tariffs and other trade barriers, the US can encourage companies to bring manufacturing jobs back home. China, on the other hand, sees this trade war as an attempt to stifle its rise as a global power. They view the US's actions as an effort to maintain its own dominance by keeping China down. They're playing the long game, folks, and they're willing to weather some short-term pain to achieve their long-term goals. China is known for its strategic patience, and they're prepared to endure economic hardships now in order to secure a more powerful position in the future. They're also using this opportunity to bolster their own domestic industries and reduce their reliance on the US. By investing in technology and innovation, China aims to become more self-sufficient and less vulnerable to external pressures. both nations are also vying for technological supremacy. The race to dominate fields like artificial intelligence, 5G, and biotechnology is heating up, and the outcome could shape the global balance of power for decades to come. This isn't just a bilateral issue, it has global implications. Other countries are being caught in the crossfire, forced to navigate the tensions between these two giants while trying to protect their own economic interests. The trade war has sparked protests and debates around the world, with people questioning the fairness and effectiveness of the policies being implemented. It's a contentious issue that has divided opinions and created uncertainty in the global market. Economists are closely monitoring the situation, analyzing the potential impacts on global growth and stability. The consensus is that prolonged trade tensions could lead to slower economic growth and increased volatility in financial markets. At the end of the day, it's not just governments and corporations that are affected. Small businesses and everyday consumers are feeling the pinch too. Higher tariffs mean higher prices for goods, and that can strain household budgets and hurt local economies. The hope is that through diplomatic negotiations, a resolution can be reached that benefits both sides and promotes fair and open trade. But for now, the power plays and protectionism continue, shaping the future of international relations and the global economy. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this trade war gets even more complicated when you factor in technology. We're not just talking about iPhones and laptops here, but cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence, 5G wireless networks, and quantum computing. See, both the US and China know that whoever controls these technologies will have a major leg up in the 21st century. It's like the space race, but with algorithms and microchips instead of rockets and astronauts. The US has accused China of stealing intellectual property, forcing American companies to hand over valuable technology as a cost of doing business in China. They're also worried about Chinese tech companies like Huawei, which they see as a potential security threat. China, meanwhile, is investing heavily in its own tech sector, determined to become a global leader in innovation. They're also pushing back against US restrictions, arguing that they're discriminatory and designed to stifle China's technological progress.